as the time goes by, the likelihood of you losing a key or having a key compromised increases, right? You make one mistake, you've lost all your funds together. However, just go log into your Google or go log into your Discord or your GitHub. Like the whole thing screams at you until you pull out your two-factor auth, right? So why don't you have two-factor for your crypto vault, right? You have two-factor for your Gmail or your iCloud or your bank account, but you don't have two-factor for your crypto wallet. And so the Vultisig is just two-factor. It requires two devices to send a transaction, only one device to view.
This podcast is sponsored by ATM Radar. When buying crypto with cash, an ATM is much more reliable and safer than meeting some random person in a random place. And unlike an exchange, which could freeze your account, you truly own all the crypto you buy. With ATM Radar, you could find crypto ATMs and other services where you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies for cash. On their website, you can search by coin, address, if the ATM supports selling as well as buying, and you can also search by geo area, country, state, city. You can also check and compare actual current fees at different ATMs. If you want to find out more, head over to coinatmradar.com, which is coinatmradar.com. Hey everyone, I have the fantastic pleasure of speaking with the one and only JP Thor. How's it going, man?
Good. I'm dialing in from South Africa. Been hanging out the whole day with Crypto Man Ran. Did a live stream today on Vultisig, and I think later in this chat I'm gonna demo you again on Vultisig or just show you it. But it's been great, and I'm flying out tomorrow back to Singapore to get started with my next major project, which I'll be focused on for the next 30 days. But in the midst, I'm doing a quick roadshow across the states, end up in New York, and then back to Switzerland for some stuff, and then back to Singapore. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, for sure. Just for a quick intro for the folks at home, right? Basically, you kind of came out of nowhere seemingly as a formerly pseudonymous person involved with the THORChain team. And then the pseudo got nuked, you showed up, and yeah, so who the heck are you and what do you do?
Okay, cool. So I've been building THORChain since 2018. I was in crypto about 2 years before that. Bitcoin since 2013. But I decided to go full-time crypto. Before this, I was in the Air Force as a pilot of fighters and bombers, and I got bored of that. So I switched to crypto because I wanted to build something big. And I got in self-taught software developer, smart contract developer, and won a hackathon back in 2016. Won like $1,000 of ETH at $10 ETH or something. And then away we went. Launched a couple of projects to figure out the whole industry. And then realized that the biggest thing in crypto to solve was decentralized liquidity. And that was even back in 2018. So I thought, what's decentralized liquidity going to look like? It's going to be like cross-chain, swaps, and liquidity. So we started building it. After a few false starts, we finally got cracking, built testnet using this new MPC protocol called TSS. It basically allows nodes to sign transactions that are quite distributed. And then we launched multi-chain KSnet in 2021, and it works. And by the way, I did the whole thing anon because I realized during the first iteration of the project was going to be the build and decentralized phase. And if I built the project around a public persona, then it would be very hard to remove myself from that and hand it over, right? And it would never truly decentralize. But also, I wanted to be assessed only on the merits of my arguments. And so I did it under an anon profile that was actually a female profile as well, because I wanted to disarm everyone and present for people to only assess me based on the intelligence of my arguments. So I did that for 6 years. And when I felt that the protocol had been decentralized, I was ready to then switch gears and go public and then market the protocol. So for the last 6 years, I blocked all the marketing, no promotion, no conferences or anything. We just hardcore build. Protocol's decentralized. Okay, now it's time to promote it and market it. So now I've switched gears and I'm now out in the force marketing and promoting it. So that's a quick little summary of how it's all gone.
Yeah, so more or less you're the THORChain Satoshi, as it were, and who's now...
But not in a New York jail to 2038. Oh, yeah. Did I give away who Satoshi is?
Nah, maybe. Well, you're both Australian, so there's that. Well, there's that singer there.
He's from South Africa, but he
Yeah.
does have an Australian passport. Keep going.
Yeah. So that means that so I've mostly interviewed Chad a few times. Chad is obviously a Chad, and kind of figured that he was a central figurehead, but I guess he was the more CTO type fellow behind the thing.
So I met Chad at a hackathon in Berlin in June 2019. The project had been turned off for the previous 12 months because we kind of ran out of money and it's a bear market and I hired the wrong developers. So I met Chad and Chad instantly got it and we instantly clicked. And we actually were at a hackathon, Cosmos hackathon, which we won. And I think we won like $1,000 with Adam. So I won like a lot of money just by rocking out to hackathons and winning them. Anyway, so we flew back to Melbourne and we built it. And I hired like 3 or 4 other engineers and we just got it done. And then, but the whole time I was obviously anonymous and not willing to go on any podcasts or anything. So Chad took all the podcasts and whatnot. So that's why you've only interviewed Chad.
Yeah, for sure. So it's the decision to come out and be not anonymous anymore. Obviously, Satoshi has remained, well, to the public eye, kind of not there and stuff. A lot of people really like that thing. There's been a lot of crypto people who in the recent times have been come under fire, including like legal fire and things like that. What was it, just a protocol's decentralized enough kind of a feeling that made you feel comfortable enough coming out? Or is there any kind of a personal thing that you feel like, well, my personhood is not at risk either?
Both. So the protocol is truly decentralized. Don't run the treasury, don't run the nodes, don't run the domains, don't run the dead pipelines. So you cannot, if you come to me and you say, JP, shut the protocol down, damn it, literally nothing I can do. Literally nothing. And it has been that way for, we've conducted planned obsolescence. So it's been that way actually for over a year, 2 years actually. And plus I'm Australian. But in my own eyes, in the last 9 months, I got to see some regulatory pressure on the protocol. There was North Korean hackers, quote unquote, swapping $300 million worth of
I remember that
malicious funds over the protocol back in September. And the ecosystem got challenged by regulatory pressure. And I got to see how quickly they arrived, what they needed to see to then leave and be happy with that. And all they needed to see was the interfaces to integrate blockchain analytics. They didn't require the protocol to do it because as the developers at the time demonstrated to those regulatory agencies, there's nothing anyone can do to stop these transactions from occurring through the state machine. And to do so would require, mandating hundreds of nodes around the world to run software that they don't run, and they're not going to do that. So the protocol was able to adequately defend itself as being incredibly neutral. And as I've always maintained, THORChain being a publicly queryable transaction graph is actually a useful honeypot that a closed source black box Mongolian exchange requiring a subpoena does. Does that make sense? So a regulator could just query Midgard and see the flow of funds and move on. Whereas if it went through like a questionable Mongolian or Russian exchange, it's a full stop. So you kind of do want these nefarious actors using THORChain because you can see the flow of funds quite easily. There's no attempt by the protocol made to obfuscate source of funds, and that's actually why it's okay. Like, there's no pressure there. And the second reason is there's initially there was some kind of centralized aspects about what I was doing with the protocol, and every protocol has to be launched in a decentralized way. But fundamentally, and that's why I was so careful and keen to launch an ecosystem. So I have lots of interfaces, lots of users, lots of different protocols, lots of blockchain explorers to do that. And now I can see, and especially now there's a big tide turning in the US. The US is now going pro-crypto. So the likelihood of THORChain receiving regulatory pressure is diminishing by the day. And it's also increasing in its neutrality and decentralization by the day. So there was a point in time in which the risk reduced to a level what was necessary to come out. Because if I don't come out in full force, who's going to market the protocol? Who's going to campaign to the next rung? Who's going to take the 100 billion? Who's going to do that, Joel? It's my job.
Who's going to carry the boats?
So that's my next phase. That's that.
Yeah, it's a David Goggins reference. Who's going to carry the boats?
Yeah, who's going to carry the boats, Joel? It's my job. So that's what I'm doing for the next 5 years. I'm getting THORChain to 100 billion. And you watch me.
Fantastic. I mean, that's a great place to to go. It's and I've been a user since the ChaosNet days and all its rockiness, and but very excited to see where all the Thor children have gone too, all the offshoots and how the whole thing has gone. And so now we arrive to the era of Vultisig. So I've seen some talks about, oh, Vultisig, what is that? Sounds like someone misspelled multisig, and it sounded kind of, sort of a dumb name, whatever, like at first glance. And then it's like, why do we need another wallet is, always the question. And then I started to look into it, see a little bit how the backup system works, and it started to make sense in ways that other things didn't. But would you mind just giving your brief rundown on what is Vultisig, how does it work, and why does it matter?
Every single wallet you have today and have used for the last 7 years, with the exception of probably Gnosis Multisig Safe, has been single signature. And as the time goes by, the likelihood of you losing a key or having a key compromised increases, right? And you just see, you can jump on Twitter any day, see hundreds of people get phished, lose money, drained, team shared, blah, blah, blah. Single signature is zero forgiving, right? You make one mistake, you've lost all your funds together. However, go log into your Google, or go log into your Discord or your GitHub. Like, the whole thing screams at you until you pull out your two-factor auth, right? So why don't you have two-factor for your crypto vault, right? You have two-factor for your Gmail or your iCloud or your bank account, but you don't have two-factor for your crypto wallet. And so the Vultisig is just two-factor. It requires two devices to send a transaction, only one device to view, or two devices to create, or two or more, if that makes sense. So there are no funds stored on Vault shares, and zero funds. They're not like a multi-sig, and it's natively cross-chain. So here I'm pulling the Vultisig app up. I'll just restart it. Boom, there it is. There. It's natively cross-chain. So it's like all of these chains are supported out the gate: Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, whatever. They're all there. They're all supported. It's trivial to support these chains because it's native. It's fully DeFi compatible. It's EOA on all accounts. There's no go set up a multi-sig between Solana, THORChain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and just come back and tell me if you ever want to do that ever again. And the answer will be no. You were like, I do not want to ever do that ever again. This literally takes 2 seconds to set up, and you go, boom, all these multi-sig wallets. And then to send it, you simply just create a transaction. Boom, boom. So let's just want to send myself some ETH, paste it in there, put in one, done, continue. Always going to be a bug right when I don't want it. And then you say, let me actually just. That's right. But you just basically send yourself a transaction, and it won't work unless you've got your second device. Like you start on your Mac and you finish on your iPhone. Or you start on your iPhone and you finish on your Apple Watch, or you started on your iPhone and you finish it on your Android burner phone. So you need these two devices to come together and send a transaction. So that's Vultisig. It's a new wallet standard. Now I actually really want to get this working. It's a new wallet standard, and it's ready. It's ready to go now. It's like, this is not like a theoretical thing. It's like literally right now. You can download it on Tesla and go for it.
Yeah, I do have the APK on my phone. I was going to set it up, but I needed to get home on my Wi-Fi to figure that out. So I will be testing it out for myself. As far as you mentioned, it's a wallet standard. So it's a wallet and it's a wallet standard. First off, of those two things, which is more important to you? Are you more of a focus? Is it more focused on getting this wallet standard out there for other wallets to use? Or are you more focused on let's just get everyone using this wallet because we know it works and it's great?
Well, as I tell my engineering team, it's not a wallet that does everything. It's a wallet that signs everything. So with Vultisig being your second co-signing app, you can have Vultisig integrated in your Chrome extension, your web app, anywhere. And then you create a complex DeFi transaction through your Chrome extension in MetaMask, Snap, or XDeFi, or THORSwap, or Shapeshift, and you go to basically sign it, and nothing's happening until you pull out your two-factor device, hit the camera, and scan, and away you go, and then sign. So you won't lose them if you have your web app compromised, or someone downloads a malicious PDF and steals your vault share. You're not losing your money, right? Because you need two-factor.
Yeah. Now,
So that's
is there any capability to do like a one of n kind of transaction to where like, so for example, say I have my little spending wallet on my phone, but it's connected to my vault at home. Is there an ability to say you can do this much on just with one signature, and then if you need to do a larger amount, you
yeah.
have to involve something else?
Yeah, correct. So Vultisigner will allow you to create a transaction policy for your vault. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
you will only allow swaps between Bitcoin and ETH, or you'll only allow 10 grand to go out per day, or you'll only allow like money to go out to your whitelisted address. Then as long as it meets that transaction policy, you can co-sign with a remote server. So the remote server will have one of the vault shares, which you'll give to it
Mm-hmm.
with a password. And that remote server can't do anything until you pull out your phone, create a transaction that meets that policy, and send. So it will appear to you to be a single device, a single sig wallet. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But it still requires two devices, your phone plus a remote cosigner. And that cosigner is just doing like a cosign to your transaction policy. But then when you want to send all your money out, then you can pull your two iPhones out or your MacBook and iPhone and do the full thing. Or you can give a vault share to your friend, right, and
Mm-hmm.
create a dead man switch. And then you tell Vultisigner, if no transactions happen on this vault for more than 24 months, then let my friend take all the money.
Mm. Yeah. So,
That is like move my money out. So it's like a dead man switch.
is all this implemented today in the wallet?
In progress.
But very soon, maybe by the time people watch this.
No, don't know about that. When you get no. It'll take some time, but we'll build it.
Yeah, fantastic. It's so. What happens if you start to lose devices? Like, say you have like a of four Vultisig, and then you lose two, or let's say it's three of four. You lose one of those devices. How easy is it to then? Do you have to recreate the whole system, or how do you then deal with that?
You can export your vault shares,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you go to you get a new device, and let's pull up here.
Mm-hmm.
So you go down here, add new
Mm-hmm.
vaults, and you get no worries. And instead of go create new vault, you just go import an existing vault, and then
Mm.
you can add your previously created vault share. That's how it works.
Yeah, and so you have to back up those files though to be able to do that, though, right?
Yeah. So when you create the vault, you should just quickly back up those vaults,
Mm-hmm.
email them to yourself, or drop them in your iCloud or whatever. But they don't hold funds, so like you don't have to be too. They're not like storing private keys. They're just vault shares. Just keep
Yeah.
them in separate locations.
Yeah, so if I have like five random devices floating around, and I at period,
If you got five random devices, like, and you're running a 3 or 5 volts, like just put two of them under your bed, and you'll be fine.
yeah, and so say I'm doing this for a few years, I'm constantly losing a device or replacing it or whatever. That's fine, right? I could just swap out share. I could just swap
Yeah,
out
yeah,
control
just
as new
correct.
devices come in.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah, correct.
do you think that this is do you think that this is kind of a missing link in how people custody their funds in crypto for self custody?
Absolutely. Like the single sig is just too dangerous. We need multi-factor. We need two-factor wallet apps, right? And this is it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't get better than this, right? Especially when we stick this thing on your Apple Watch, right?
Yeah.
So you can have a fully fledged crypto wallet that requires your iPhone and your Apple Watch, which a lot of people do actually. And boom, like you can, like the likelihood of you losing your phone and your watch at the same time by having them stolen or hacked at the same time is just extremely low.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. And hopefully that extends to Google Watches too, because that's what I have eventually.
Of course you do. Of course you
Yeah.
do.
Baby steps.
You strike me as a very alternate thinking person. So
Yeah,
why am I
for
not
sure.
surprised?
Definitely not super normies Phil over here. But so as far as a standard, as far as getting other wallets out there to use Vultisig, because let's be honest, there are a bunch of wallets out there with a bunch of different features and a bunch of different apps I might want to use. That then they all use the annoying single sig seed phrase kind of nonsense. And for those so that's the reality we live in today, despite having the access to something cool like Vultisig. So how do we get from where we are today to we don't have to deal with seed phrases anymore? Like, what are the incremental steps that I can start taking right now?
I need to build a standard, a Vultisig standard. I need to build a very reliable service, and I need to incentivize hundreds of thousands of users to move billions of dollars into Vultisig. And I'm going to do that with an airdrop. So it launches token in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and in 12 months' time, and then every month we're going to count up people's vault balances if they choose to disclose it. And then after 12 months, we will just basically give you a whole bunch of money, and then that's it. Like, you compete for it, and we'll do that for 5 years straight. That makes sense?
Yeah. So you just pay people to have this set up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Simple. Via an airdrop. Done.
Yeah. So where does the value of the token come from?
Affiliate fees. So Trust Wallet makes $1 million a month on affiliate fees. So if I can get $1 billion AUM in this vault, and in 12 months' time, people are panic selling the Bitcoin from 300 grand to 150 grand in Vultisig, we'll be able to take huge amounts of affiliate fees, and those affiliate fees will just burn the token. Done. Simple. No complex staking, no complex governance, nothing stupidly decentralized, just token. If you think the products are going to get adoption, hold the token. If you don't think it is, don't hold the token.
Yeah. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. So other than that, I mean, that's already like a whirlwind of things that have kind of happened over the last few years that are current now and are going on in the future. Other than that, what other cool things are you either working on or thinking about for, let's just say, like the 5-year time horizon or something? Like, what else? Where's the grand vision past where we are now?
Yeah, sure. So I've been building THORChain, which is like the base layer protocol, but I recognize, and I'm building the wallet that layer, which is Vultisig, which is a new wallet standard. So how am I going to solve the middle, which is the interface aggregator layer? Well, that's coming soon. In 1 more month, I'll announce a crazy project. I'm in the process of raising $50 million. And from that 50 million, I'll be able to launch a crazy project, which is going to require a lot of my attention, focus, and energy over the next 12 months. And I guarantee you it will be extremely entertaining and fun for everyone involved. And you will not want to miss it. It's going to be wild. And I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it. Like, it's risky and it's high risk, that's for sure, but it's going to be fun. And I'm looking forward to doing it.
Yeah, well, for sure. Well, for people who are looking forward then to following all this epic journey and stuff, where would you direct people then to go to follow you, to follow what's going on with Vultisig, all the other good stuff?
Honestly, just follow me on Twitter, JPThor89, and I'll announce all my activities, and let's just have a crack. Hopefully I'll be ready. I'll finish this raise in 30 days. I've got 30 days to raise $50 million. Wish me luck.
Yes, absolutely. Well, here's wishing you all the luck in the world. Cool. I want to be respectful of your time and let you go now, but that's been it's been a very good chat, and I wish you all the best, and I'll be watching with eager anticipation.
Good on you, buddy. Talk soon.
All right, peace.